This video is comprised of 4 tests for flexibility assessment. Before beginning any of the tests, be sure to warm up for 10 to 15 minutes using aerobic exercise, for example like jogging or cycling. In the following video, I will show you the Canadian trunk forward flexion test. This test is good for all populations to assess hamstring and lower back flexibility. To begin, remove shoes and sit with feet flat against the box. Reach forward, and as you do, exhale as you reach. You'll want to hold for 2 seconds with your hands overlapping so that you don't overcompensate with one side of your body or the other. Also, you want to ensure that your knees are not bent and that your legs are solid and flat against the floor. The score for this will be in centimeters, and you'll want to make sure that you repeat the assessment twice. When you do take the assessment, be sure to remove or subtract 3 centimeters for an accurate reading. Here I demonstrated a flexibility of 35 centimeters minus 3, so 33 was my score. This chart gives the fitness categories for trunk forward flexion using the sit and reach box method. For me, I'm a 32-year-old female, so my score was 33 centimeters, which puts me in the good range for my age. The next test is the YMCA sit and reach test. This, like the previous test, is used to evaluate the hamstring and lower back flexibility and is used with a yardstick, a piece of tape, and either a floor or a mat. First, remove the shoes. Place yardstick on the floor vertically between your legs. Place a strip of tape on the 15-inch mark. Place the feet on the tape edge 10 to 12 inches apart and reach forward. As you reach forward, exhale as you reach. Fingers must touch the yardstick as you do so with your hands overlapped and hold for 2 seconds, while ensuring that your knees are not bent and your legs are flat on the floor. The scoring for this will be in inches, and you'll need to repeat the assessment at least twice to get a good accurate reading. Following is the categorization of the tape. Table 5.3 from the ASCM Sports Medicine and Prescription Book. As you can see, this assessment is good for all ages and populations, and you will see that I measured a 19 inches and an 18.5 inches on my second attempt. According to the ASCM guidelines, for this evaluation, for a 32-year-old female, I scored a 19, which puts me in the category of average with a 50% percentile. The next assessment will be the chair sit and reach test. This is good for older populations that have a hard time getting up and down from the sitting position on the floor. You will need a chair 17 inches in height placed against the wall, but they will not need to remove their shoes as in the previous test. Extend one leg with ankle dorsiflexed, keeping the untested leg flat on the floor. Keep head in a normal alignment. As the individual begins to reach, make sure you explain to them that they need to exhale and hold the position for 2 seconds. For this test, you'll need a second person to assist to hold the ruler and get the scoring. For scoring, it will be in inches, and for the space between the toe and the body will be a negative score. If the fingertips go past the big toe, this will be counted as a positive score. If the individual can only touch the toe, this will be scored as a 0. As you can see, I have someone assisting me with a ruler, holding for 2 seconds, exhaling, and then putting my hand out for scoring. You will also notice that I make sure to do both legs while pulling the other foot back and then pushing forward with my body to make the second score. As you can see, I tested positive for both my scores. The last assessment will be the Thomas test. This assessment is for hip flexor flexibility, and to begin, you'll want to lie in the supine position on the ground or the mat. Bring one leg to the chest and while keeping the other leg straight and in contact with the mat. If the one that is in contact with the mat lifts for any reason while lifting the knee to the chest, they will be deemed inflexible. If they keep one leg on the floor while the other leg is pulled to the chest tightly, they will be deemed flexible. You'll need a second person to assist so that they can watch and observe to make sure that the leg never leaves the mat. This assessment is good for all populations. As you can see from the video, I am flexible in both my hips. As for this test, you'll want to test both legs.